Hi everybody, I've got a, we're going to call it a flea market finds because that's what I've been calling them right along. Although this is actually another online buy. This is a Facebook page buy. Somebody posted on a local Facebook page that they had some Machinist items, and I looked and saw a couple of things I was kind of interested in. I called, the guy was available for me to come out the same day, which worked out great because he had somebody else coming at 5:30, so I beat that guy out. But whoever that may be, they shouldn't feel too bad because I didn't overpay, but I kind of, well, I ended up making a lump sum offer on the whole lot. I got a few items that are, I got a couple items that are just junk. I got a few items that are good enough for resale, but not good enough for me to keep because I either already have them or I have better versions of them. And then I got a couple items that I wanted for myself. But before I get to that, I wanted to make an announcement. I wanted to shout out to all of my regular viewers and let you know that as of the airing of my last video, actually, I have reached 5,000 subscribers. I'm actually at like 5,008 at last count. So I'm real pleased with that. Those of you guys who do watch my videos for this kind of stuff, I hope you enjoy it. And again, thank you to all of my subs for helping me reach that 5,000 subscriber mark. In YouTube, that means nothing. You got to get to 10,000 before they give you your first attaboy. So the funny thing is, I've been on YouTube for several years. I've got over 1,200 videos uploaded, and I'm only halfway there. Just goes to show you. You know, I've got a lot of videos that I have a lot of hits on because they're videos on how to do something specific. Like, you know, how to fix your RV water heater, or how to fix your blower motor in your Dodge, or how to fix the blower in your Honda Pilot. Those kind of videos there, where people are going to come in, they're going to check them out, they're going to learn what they need to do, give me a thank you, but they're not going to sub, and I can understand why, because chances are there's nothing else. The guys who are watching those videos probably don't give a hoot about these flea market finds videos, and the guys who are watching those videos on tractors might have no interest at all in watching me learn how to TIG weld, for instance. Okay, all right, so let's get on with this. So, oh, one more thing. Right before I get to these new items, I wanted to do a quick little update kind of to the indicator video series I did, because lo and behold, after all that was said and done, the other day I was trying to organize one of my toolboxes and I came across two more indicators that somehow got overlooked. So anyways, without further ado, let's reposition the camera and take a look at these two indicators that were lost in the, well, actually I might have a third one that's kind of neat if I can find it. So these are the two indicators I just recently found in my collection that should have been included in the indicator video series that I did, but got overlooked because they were in different draws. Anyways, this one's just the, I think it's a 196 Starrett, which I showed you one that was all beat up, and I was pretty sure I had another one somewhere, and lo and behold, I believe this is it. It's actually not marked 196 like I think the other one was clearly marked, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. And this is exactly how I got it. It was in this taped up box with this little bag in here for protection. So anyway, so that would have probably been originally part of a set. I don't know how it ended up in this box. And the box doesn't have the markings on the end to indicate what the heck the box was for, which is kind of odd. This is the one that I thought was kind of neat and warranted me actually showing you guys, even though it was overlooked. I wanted to get this included. I don't even remember where I got this one. There's some flash rust on these parts, and the box itself has got some mildew. I'm also not convinced this is even the original box for this because there's no markings on it, and the foam definitely looks like it's been replaced. It's some kind of modern foam that's in there. But if it is replacement foam, they actually did a pretty good job cutting it. So this is like the Starrett 196. This is also another back button indicator. But what's neat about this one is this one's actually branded Pratt & Whitney. So my suspicion is that this might be a Brown & Sharp or a Starrett that doesn't look like a Starrett. Looks more like a Brown & Sharp. My suspicion is that it's a Brown & Sharp that was branded Pratt & Whitney. So this is marked model 399 and it's a thousandths indicator. Last calibrated in 1995. I actually thought it would be even older than that. And let's see what else is in here. Not sure what these little plastic. Oh, you know what these are? These are safety covers for 9-volt batteries. I don't know why those are in there. A little wiggler and a little holder. And let's see, there's the wiggler. Yeah, the wiggler fits this holder by the looks of it. No? Oh, I'll be darned. Wonder what the point is of that. See, there's a threaded hole on this C-clamp. Well, no, it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't be for that. Wonder what the heck the deal is there. Oh, what's this? A little brass. Nothing. So, just thought it was a little interesting. You don't see a lot of measuring tools branded Pratt & Whitney. All right, let's just move right along here and get into the lot of items that I picked up off of a Facebook page sale, and this is 19 items in total. The first item is this Starrett number S167D radius gauge set. Looks like it's in excellent condition. It's missing the little rod. There's supposed to be a little rod that goes right here, which helps actually hold these so you can reach down into a tighter spot. The other thing that I thought was interesting about this set when I first saw it was I actually thought it might be missing some pieces because of the fact that I've seen other sets like this that have had these filled in, but you'll notice the numbers aren't there. So it turns out I went and looked at, I knew I already had a set like this, and actually I ended up having a couple. Alright, so this is an S167 CHZ, 1/64 to ½ inch. So I don't know what all of these suffixes mean on these sets. This set, the case is dirtier, but it's got the often missing rod, and you'll see how full this set is. So I don't know what the HZ means, but they basically omitted on the case here. So this is an S167C, which is a bigger set than the D. Here's another C. Again, this one's missing the rod, but other than that, it's actually also a complete set. A little more wear and tear on it. And this one has an extra radius gauge. Somebody stuck up here in the top. It's a tiny one. I think that actually says 0.015. So I don't know about what that is, but I'm not going to worry about it. And just because I was showing off, looking at the radius gauges, I figured I'd grab these real quick and show you. This is another set that I've got. This is a General number 435B radius gauge set. This is an early one. Nice size set though. And these earlier General tools are actually decent quality. And then this one here, this is a Helios. First caliper, dial caliper I ever owned was a Helios. I still have it. And I believe it's a Swiss-made company. What's interesting about this one is it's also got the rod. It's often missing in these sets. Alright, moving right along. Next up we have another Starrett item. This actually looks brand new. It's nice that we have the outer box with the label on it. This is a 711 FSZ indicator. It's a last word. I don't need another last word, as you guys who have watched my indicator video know, but I couldn't pass this up for the price because it is clean as a whistle. Unfortunately, it's missing several of the accessories. Yeah, I think this is it's probably just been very well cared for, but has been used. And the case is also in very good condition. And a little bit of paperwork even in there. And another Starrett box, very similar to the last word one, but this is a model 823A inside micrometer set. I think I also have one of these, but it was the same situation. It was better to buy the whole thing as a lot and get the best price that way and then just turn around and sell what I don't need. That's also in very nice shape. Nice little set. And next we get a couple of Starrett micrometers. These are both, I think, in the same series. This one is a 436P, it's a 2-inch, and this one is a T436P, a 3-inch. These, I do believe, have never been used. They look brand spanking new. And these are the older style, but the fact that there's like no marks anywhere on these things really make me think that these are in fact unused. They're in beautiful shape. Now they don't have the carbide anvils. I mean, those just feel super sharp on the edges still, and they don't have the thumb click tension wheel there, the little click stop. They're stiff, probably from not being turned like ever. This one's still in the plastic bag, as a matter of fact. Really nice shape. At some point I'm going to have to go through all my micrometers and make a decision on which ones to keep. The thing is, on some of these, I have some full sets, so you know, if I've got a full set that covers 2 to 3 inch, you know, 1 to 2 and all that, doesn't make much sense to maybe hold on to these when I could turn these into money. Well, what do we got? 15 more items to go. Next item up is this small little box, and it's another Starrett last word. Actually, this one's well used, but it still works perfectly fine. And it's got a couple of little ball arms that go in here. Now the weird thing about this one is it fits so perfectly in this case, but this case is actually marked. It's kind of hard to see. I had to clean it up and look at it on the magnification, but it's marked the S.M. Peet, P-E-E-T-C-O. So it's the S.M. Peet Company of Cleveland, Ohio. And apparently they were an indicator manufacturer also. And the funny thing is, I went on eBay. I was only able to find one completed auction for an SM Peet indicator. And the box was clearly newer looking than this. Not even sure. I didn't look at the box. Maybe that was just a box they had. But inside was an indicator that looks just like this last word, only it said GEM, J-E-M on it. But that'll be a nice little cheap Starrett last word for somebody. But I thought the box was interesting, to say the least. Next up we have another old box. This is a Miller's Falls of Greenfield, Massachusetts. The box has got some mildew and crustiness to it. See the rust on the hinges underneath the covering here. But unlike that last box, that's actually what's in here is the original. I believe what was originally in this box is the same thing that's in here now, which is an old Miller's Falls depth micrometer. And it's actually relatively clean, except for the rust present in the knurling here. Otherwise, it's actually in pretty good shape. So this is a Miller's Falls number 31 depth micrometer. Adjustment wrench is in there, and 2 rods. I'm not sure how many this would have come with originally, but that's what's in there now. Next up, we have a Central Tool Company box. Central Tool Company of Cranston, Rhode Island. And this is another micrometer inside mic. I believe this is called the inside tubular micrometer. So the way this works is we've got this little rod right here. Pretty sure this probably had foam cancer and somebody decided to cut a new foam for this because this foam feels really out of place in this box. But anyways, so this is the actual business end of it right here. Okay, and then you've got this little thumb screw that you can remove and then thread in this rod, which now acts as a handle so you can go down inside of a bore. And then, as if that wasn't cool enough, you can unscrew these caps, one or the other. And if you unscrew the cap, you can take any combination of these rods that you'd like and screw them on. Okay, and now you've just extended the range. And then each one of these rods, I believe, the caps unscrew. Well, I might be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure they do. No, I guess maybe these don't come off. Okay. I thought maybe you could put them all together. So I guess the maximum range would be if you took these two longest rods and put them together. But anyways, it's actually a nice clean set, usable set. Somebody will find a good use for that. This falls in the category of I just have too many of these already. Again, I could probably do a little video on just inside micrometer sets and bore gauges and hole gauges for that matter. Maybe that's what I'll combine those. Anybody thinks they want to see a video like that, say something in the comments and I'll work on it. Next up, another Starrett box, and in this Starrett box we have a nice Model 98 12-inch Starrett level. The vial is not broken. There's a little bit of rust here, hardly any, but it's got a lot of scratches on the bottom. This has seen a lot of use, a lot of wear. So not the greatest shape. It's got this vial's intact also. But I know that this will sell. I'm not going to keep this. I've got my. I'm good with levels, so I've had, I don't know how many of these 12 inches I've had, but I had a couple of the 18s. I think I still have one of the 18, the 98 18-inch, which I believe is probably the largest in the series. And I got a couple of small ones, and then I picked up the 199 master level. Once I got that, I figured, well, okay, I'm all leveled out. Now here's one of the actual items that I went there for, that I really was chasing to begin with. And this is a Starrett. This is a 25-441/5 drop indicator. Those of you who just watched my indicator videos know I don't need any more drop indicators. I need like a hole in the head. However, this thing is brand new. Brand spanking new. Beautiful shape. Beautiful condition. Unfortunately, the bottom of the box is missing. Pretty sure it's not supposed to come like that. Might be wrong. Maybe that is how it came. I don't know. I've never had one with the box. I've got my Starrett indicators. I put them away already. When I went through all my drop indicators, I set aside a couple of Starretts that I had that I was going to keep for myself. Now I'm going to go back and look at one of those and make a decision. The only bad thing about this is this is a thousandths indicator. It's not a tenths or anything like that, but it's still it's a brand new nice indicator, and again it appears brand new. And then this he didn't have in the ad, but I spied it while I was there, so he put it into the mix. It's an Interrapid. So that's the good news, that it's an Interrapid. This is a model 310-B20. I'm not sure what the 0 designates. Most of these I've seen that they just say like a 310-B2. So he had indicated that the only thing wrong with it was that it was missing the tip. Gladly, I didn't give a lot of money for this because I was unable to test it, so I didn't consider it to be extremely valuable. Interrapid indicators tend to bring very good money. This one's a little rough, doesn't have the box, missing the tip, and don't know if it works. Well, I borrowed a tip off of one of my Alina indicators, and it's threaded right in there, no problem. And what I found was that it actually does work, but what's weird is the sub dial right here. I don't know if you can see that, but that sub dial, the hand is pointing towards me, towards my finger over here, when it should be pointing to that 0. So it's that little tiny sub dial hand is 180 degrees out of whack. But because it's not completely broken, this might be a good candidate to send out and have a little repair done to it. It's just a shame that the body on this thing is so beat to heck. But it is an Interrapid, so, you know, there's something to be said about those. This was in the bottom of the box. It was funny. I almost threw this out. It's an edge finder, right? No markings on it, no name on it that I could see. It's got a screw on the end here. He gave me a cardboard box to take everything home in. I didn't even see anything in the box other than some mouse poop. When I got home and I was taking everything out, this was in the bottom of the box. When I first pulled it out, first I was like, oh, maybe it's a gauge pin. And then I saw the rust in the pin, and I was like, oh boy, nah, the size of it, I doubt it. Then I saw the screw in the end, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what the heck that's for. And it was so flush right here, I didn't see the line. Didn't occur to me what it was, and then I just happened to, I don't know if I was putting it down or what, and I hit it, and it moved over, and I said, oh, duh, it's an edge finder. So, I got a few of these too. I don't know if I've got one this size or not. But that's a freebie. We got about 7 items left. Let's hit this next. This is something that was, when we were going down the line, we were haggling on price for everything. I made sure he realized that I had absolutely given this pretty much 0 value. Let's go through the 0 value stuff. The box says Helios. Remember, I just said that Helios does make good stuff. Unfortunately, the box does not contain anything Helios. The box contains a lowly Fowler vernier. I mean, Fowler's not a horrible product, but it's certainly not sought after. And, I mean, not a lot of guys use verniers these days. So, quite frankly, I'm not sure by the looks of the imprint in the foam over here, there was probably a large Helios caliper that went in here. And quite frankly, this box is probably worth more to somebody who has this caliper than this caliper is worth. So, that's we'll call that the who cares stuff. While we're doing the who cares stuff, these micrometers were also in the who cares pile. I took them because he just wanted to get rid of all the stuff in one lot and not have to deal with it anymore. This is a 2 to 3 inch Brown and Sharp. This is actually, well, I should say this was actually a really nice micrometer in its day. Condition's kind of rough, but it's a 2 to 3 inch and it's a Brown and Sharp. And the, let's see here. Does this even work anymore? Yeah, that actually still locks. Huh. So that's actually kind of a nice, I mean, it's a usable micrometer, don't get me wrong. And it's Brown and Sharp, which is good quality. These earlier ones were. And this is a beat to heck old, now this is a little Brown and Sharp right here. This is a number 10 Brown and Sharp. I think I might have another one of these somewhere. Number 10 Brown and Sharp. Well, unlike its friend over there, it doesn't want to lock. Oh well. Number 10. And then this one. This one's a riot. This one is a Reed Small Tool Works of Worcester, Massachusetts. So R-E-E-D, Reed. And I think this might be going back to the days of Reed Prentice, the lathe manufacturer and tooling manufacturer. So this is a really early example. This is really kind of neat the way this is made. Unfortunately, somebody lost their flipping mind and ground off. I mean, they must have had a need to get into a tight space. But I mean, look at that, what they did to this thing. It's unbelievable. So that's a paperweight. I was trying to think, since it's completely useless, whether or not there was something I could do with this. It might be kind of artsy, you know. I don't know whether or not I could make a small lamp or something out of it, you know. Kind of maybe TIG weld it down to something small for a base, and this would be the arm coming up, and then have something else maybe attached to it, and make a lamp for a machinist desk. I don't know. Here's something I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm going to keep. It's an NSK micrometer with interchangeable rods, and even comes with standards. And this is actually in pretty good shape. It's got the click stop. So this is a Japanese made. Okay. This rod appears to have never been used. It still has the packing wax on it. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a 1 in there now. So you've got 6 in there. It's got the 2 wrenches. Look like the original wrenches are in there. The standards are not all NSKs, oddly enough. The smallest one in these two are both NSKs. These appear to be something different. Oh no, they are. They're NSKs too. They're just brown for some reason. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got all 5 of the standards in there. That's actually a pretty decent set. You know, this would be good for anybody who just doesn't want to spend the money on a Starrett, but it's probably on par with quality of Mitutoyo. We got 2 items left to go. Next to the last item. Yep, it's a Starrett number 196, and I had already realized that I already had a 196, and I didn't want to value this too high for that reason. But what I liked about this set was a couple of things. First off, it's chock full of all of the little attachments that often go missing. We got the little hole wiggler here. We've got the C-clamp, the rod. This is a back button again. Notice it has a button on the back already, and yet we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more attachments for the back to change it out. The indicator itself, smooth as glass, works perfect. It could use a new plastic crystal here. Okay, it's popping out. But with a new crystal, this would be a really nice usable indicator. And the other thing that struck me about this was that this box, I do not believe that this is the original box that this came in at all, because there's no cover. The box does not have like grooves in it for a slide over wooden cover that would slide in, and it does not have any holes present anywhere for hinges. So there was never a lid on this box from what I can see. So my theory is, and the theory of the person I bought this off of, is that this actually was a box that was made. I think he said that this belonged to his grandfather. Anyways, even this right here, I forgot what you call this accessory, but this particular accessory right here, this alone can bring a few bucks on eBay. So I haven't decided yet. I might keep this set for myself. I might actually, the other thing I could do is if I wanted to, I could take that really nice clean one that I have and put it in here and just sell this, swap it out. I don't know. Ideally, I'd like to get one with the original case at some point, but I don't need one. I've got other back button indicators that I've got a Fowler that looks brand new. That's about this size. So, but anyways, that's a nice little set. I don't know what the story is with this. What that's still floating around in there. All right. Now we got one more item, and I think you guys are gonna get a kick out of this. I sure did. Matter of fact, he showed it to me, and it was laying off to the side, and I said, oh, and absolutely, you got to include this in our deal. Check it out. Who out there has a genuine Machinist belt buckle? So this on the back here, it's marked P50, made in the USA. It's made by the Siskiyou, S-I-S-K, Siskiyou, Siskiyou Buckle Company. It's got a copyright date down here in the corner of 1987, the Siskiyou Buckle Company of Williams, Oregon. It's got this neat logo over here. Okay, so before I get to this, let's just look at that front again. Looks like we got a Bridgeport, well, it's I should say this is a knee mill. See, I'm going to say this is a Wells Index. I'm sure that's what that is. Why would they have a Bridgeport on there, right? Big engine lathe, micrometer, and a dial caliper. Kind of neat. But the neatest part of this whole thing is what this says on the back. Machinists are highly skilled people who play an important part in the manufacturing of almost all metal products. Modern society could not function without machinists and the work they do. Isn't that special? It says model on this is an R50, in case I said P50. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of neat. I thought that was cool beans. You know, now that the 80s are gone, I don't wear belt buckles like this anymore. You know, but if I were still wearing belt buckles, I would wear this one, that's for sure. And the good news is, if you guys actually think this is really cool and would like one for yourself, I actually did find some of these on eBay. They could still be had on eBay for, you know, pretty reasonable, around 10 or 15 bucks, I think. So, but I thought it was kind of cool. Thought I'd share that with you. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Have a good one.